Good Thursday evening, Happy New Year, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And boy, things have changed this afternoon. Snow showers beginning to fall, mixed with some rain out there across north central Washington. This looking down at the Wenatchee Valley from our Sky-Fi Tower camera on Jump Off Ridge, one of the higher points around the valley. And yeah, some flakes are flying, rain is falling, and that will be in our forecast. In fact, we could see some snow overnight, and this is kind of what we're looking at as far as snow totals go as we get into your Friday morning. The lighter blue colors, very, very light amount of snow, and that's us. Moses Lake, you may not see any snow at all, but as we get to the north and northwest of Wenatchee, that's where we could see maybe about 2 to 4, maybe 6 inches of snow up that way, and we're not done yet. We have several storm systems to talk about, and we'll do that coming up a little bit later on in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. An alleged partner in a series of firearm thefts from Wenatchee and Dryden homes is in custody tonight. The Everett teenager who caused a brush fire near Manson last summer earned a sentence Monday of 3 days in jail. And as the new year approached Tuesday night, complaints about fireworks began pouring into local agencies and law enforcement, even in areas where lighting fireworks was legal. But first, we begin tonight. A Bridgeport father is barred from contact with his family after allegedly beating 4 of his children. Alvino Trejo Rivera, who's 35 years old, faces possible domestic violence charges after his arrest on Tuesday. Douglas County Sheriff's deputies say Trejo struck 2 5-year-old children with a coat hanger and placed them in a bath of cold water. Then he threw 2 other children, ages 12 and 13, to the ground and kicked one of them. Deputies say Trejo admitted to elements of that abuse. A Douglas County judge has placed no contact orders between him and the children. Well, an alleged partner in a series of firearm thefts from Wenatchee and Dryden homes is in custody tonight. Scott Joseph Paul of Moses Lake is accused of stealing 7 rifles and a shotgun in multiple burglaries back in October. Another man, Cameron Darnell of Yakima, was arrested shortly after those burglaries and remains in the Chelan County Jail. Paul has been held in the Grant County Jail since his arrest in a separate incident in October. Both men are charged with 8 counts of firearm theft plus related burglary charges. Well, the Everett teenager who caused a brush fire near Manson last summer earned a sentence Monday of 3 days in jail. 18-year-old Michael Petrovich Popoff must also serve 27 days of community custody for blowing up a rural mailbox with a firework on July 6th, which sparked a 14-acre brush fire near Joe Creek Road. He pleaded guilty in Chelan County Superior Court to a count of reckless burning. Popoff also must pay almost $21,000 to Chelan County Fire District 5 for the cost of fighting the fire and another $16,400 to the Department of Natural Resources. Well, as the new year approached Tuesday night, several complaints about fireworks began pouring in to local law enforcement agencies, even in areas where lighting fireworks was legal. Overall, Rivercom took 28 calls about fireworks beginning shortly after 7 p.m. and that continued into the early morning hours. Leading the way were Douglas County and the city of Wenatchee with 9 calls each. Fireworks are illegal in Wenatchee, but in Douglas County, fireworks were allowed from 6 p.m. New Year's Eve until 1 a.m. New Year's morning. Chelan County, where fireworks are illegal, had 8 complaints. East Wenatchee, where fireworks are legal, had 2 calls. Coming up next, NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins takes a look back at the top stories of 2019. Washington's snowfall this season is having a hard time keeping up with its historical averages. And it was attack of the tumbleweeds on Highway 240 near West Richland on New Year's Eve, or at least it seemed that way. We have the unbelievable photos and video. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
It's a marvelous markdown at Sangster Buick GMC.
Hi, Corey Sangster, and we're ending the year with a bang. Take advantage of employee pricing on a great selection of new Buick and GMCs. 2019 GMC Sierra 1500 Crew SLT with savings over $11,000. Or this 2019 Buick Encore all-wheel drive up to $7,000 off. Or choose employee pricing. Before you buy, compare price, service, and selection.
December is a marvelous markdown at Sangster Buick GMC or sangstermotors.com.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
Mm-hmm. It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging and Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation.
Welcome back. In another news, 2019 is in the rearview mirror now, and NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins decided to take a look back. Here's his special report.
2019 got started with a bang as East Wenatchee police officers voted no confidence in their outgoing chief, Randy Harrison. An independent review of the department's practices found a lack of communication and crucial training. Harrison retired from the chief's office at year's end after 25 years. Neighbors and state agencies sought to turn back the proposed Black Rock Terrace development, and a judge agreed, saying the 17-lot neighborhood needed more rigorous study of its impacts on wildlife. In February, 6-year-old Rayanna Rosenberg fell through the ice of a Rock Island pond and survived thanks to extreme efforts by rescue teams and medical experts. Local volunteers contributed thousands of dollars toward her recovery. But later in the year, the child was placed with relatives after her adult caregivers were charged in a robbery and assault in Douglas County. In March, a fire destroyed a Bluebird warehouse in Peshastin, claiming an $8 million structure and about $9 million worth of fruit. That same month, local gun owners turned in 15 bump stocks, a firearm component that became illegal that month. Each one was worth a $150 voucher. In April, Senator Brad Hawkins' bill allowing PUDs to become hydrogen producers got the governor's signature to become law. The Douglas County PUD and others expect to benefit from the project. Lewis and Clark Elementary Principal Alfonso Lopez was honored as Washington's Educator of the Year. Leavenworth's new Cascade High School building formally opened with a dedication ceremony in May. Rainstorms pounded the Wenatchee Valley in June and flooded some downtown businesses. And July saw the 1,400-acre Desert Canyon fire burn above Orondo, and a Wenatchee River drowning in which a man died trying to save his pet pig. An East Wenatchee police officer was charged in August with trying to steal a woman's wallet at the Mill Bay Casino. Josh Vernig later pleaded to misdemeanor disorderly conduct. White nationalist recruitment flyers littered the neighborhoods near Wenatchee Valley College in September. Chelan County Deputy Jennifer Tyler was fired for a second time from the sheriff's office amid a long-running legal dispute with her employer. The polluted Cashmere Mill site reopened as a business center, with ribbon-cutting help from Governor Jay Inslee, and prosecutors opted not to charge a Chelan County employee who tried and failed to euthanize his own dog with a gunshot. The Douglas County Courthouse briefly closed in October after white powder spilled out of a returned ballot envelope. The powder proved to be non-toxic, and a misdemeanor charge against a Waterville man was later dropped. In November, local basketball hero Haley Van Lith announced she'll trade her Cashmere Bulldogs jersey for University of Louisville colors. And local elections changed the political landscape around the valley, from new Wenatchee school board members to Wenatchee City Council members picked by district to a new East Wenatchee mayor for the first time in 20 years. A criminal trial closed out the year in which a Chelan County jury said a National Guardsman who fired a rifle to scare railroad workers away from private land did not break the law. Jefferson Robbins, NCWLIFE.
Thank you, Jefferson. Washington's snowfall this season is having a hard time keeping up with its historical averages. The U.S. Water and Climate Center says current water reserves held in mountain snowpack is just 53% of normal for the Central Columbia Basin. That's the watershed that includes Chelan County and the Wenatchee Valley. Snow accumulations is only 31 inches at Stevens Pass compared to a historical average of 38 inches by this time of winter. The picture is much the same all over the state, and a drought declaration that was put in place last year by Governor Jay Inslee won't expire until April. Well, it was the attack of the tumbleweeds on Highway 240 near West Richland on New Year's Eve, or at least it seemed like it. The highway was closed in both directions about 6:30 p.m. as the tumbleweeds began piling up as high as 15 feet, the Washington State Patrol said. 5 cars and a semi were trapped in the pile, and the Washington Department of Transportation had to bring in snowplows to clear the roadway. It wasn't until about 10 hours later that the highway was cleared. On Wednesday morning, DOT crews found yet another abandoned vehicle deep in a pile of tumbleweeds. Take a look at this.
We have confirmed no one is in this car, but we are trying to access the license plate to get a hold of the owner this morning.
Just unbelievable, isn't it? You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
When it comes to our community, you can count on Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram to be invested. From supporting community college scholarships through a concert series or participating in a local high school homecoming event, Town Chrysler has always put the community first. Buying local supports the jobs and programs you care about most. When it comes time to buy your next new or used car, SUV, or truck, remember, there's no reason to leave town.
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community.
People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it in the radio or seeing it in the newspaper. I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there.
I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that than with NCWLIFE.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Time now for our weekly Kennel Cameos feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Tonight, NCWLIFE's Megan McPherson introduces us to Ace the dog.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCWLIFE channel. We're here with Jenny, the volunteer coordinator at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and Ace is joining us this week. Can you tell us about Ace?
Yes, Ace is about 3.5 years old. He came here to the shelter with another female, a strong female. He's a young, energetic guy. He knows the command sit, he knows stay, he's house trained. He's just a real joy. He's a very, very friendly guy. We do think that even though he came with a female dog, that he'd be best in the home as the only dog. He seems to love the attention and just kind of want it for himself. So he's joyful, he's fun, He's low on cats, so probably no cats either, but he's a fun guy. Come here.
And if someone wants to adopt him, what should they do?
They should come on down to the shelter and meet Ace. He's ready to go today.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. This has been Kennel Cameos at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. But first, Happy New Year to y'all. Hope you had a great day yesterday and a very safe New Year's Eve. Temperature-wise and weather-wise, it wasn't bad, except for a lot of wind. Unfortunately, my wife and family and I, we went to the Space Needle to see the fireworks. And for the first time in 25 years, they didn't have fireworks from the Space Needle because of all that wind. And we all felt it all across the state. Here's a beautiful shot this afternoon from our Sky-Fi tower camera. This one up on Jump Off Ridge. You can see the clouds around the area and lots of shower activity around North Central Washington. We have a 60% chance of it tonight, and that will continue. So don't be surprised if you see a little snowflakes mixed in with that rain shower activity. Highs today, though, boy, unbelievably mild. Although we cooled off throughout the afternoon, we did top off unofficially at 46 degrees today. That is a whopping 14 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. We started off on the beautiful side, 37 degrees for our low, 23, that's where we should be for this time of year. 48 degrees is our record high set back in 2007, record low 2 below in 1969. We did pick up 3/100ths of an inch of precipitation. That was just from yesterday, so now to date, 3/100ths of an inch of precipitation. It's January 2nd. Sunrise this morning, 7:48, and the sun set this afternoon at 4:22. Let's take a look and show you how tomorrow's weather will shape up, and it's going to be a lot like today. Temperature-wise, very mild and kind of on the wet side, especially in the morning, but will warm up nicely. Look at that, 50 degrees for Moses Lake tomorrow, almost 50 in Ephrata at 48, 47 Quincy, and then a lot of mid-40s from Wenatchee all the way up into Eniat and Chelan. A little cooler up north in Okanagan County. Omak, your high temperature tomorrow at 42 degrees. Taking a look at that surface loop, and boy, there is a lot to get to right now. Cloudy skies tonight. This has actually gone up to a 60% chance now for rain mixed with snow. You can see it all around Washington State. Just the Tri-Cities down in the southeast corner may be dry tonight. It's all fueled by that large area of low pressure. By Friday, we are under the influence of a gigantic westerly flow, and it's bringing a lot of moisture in, a chance for rain in the morning, and then another 60% chance of rain late in the day. The gold and yellows indicates heavy precipitation, so if you're traveling on Snoqualmie Pass on Friday, be aware, lots of water on the roadways there. 40% chance of morning rain on Saturday. We'll see some windy conditions too, 15 to 25 miles an hour as we get into the end of the weekend on Sunday. We're going to stay kind of on the wet side, mostly cloudy, a 20% chance of rain, but still mild. We are not going to get out of the 40s through this entire forecast period. Monday, as we kick off our next work week, mostly cloudy, still a 30% chance of rain. A large area of low pressure just off the coast of northern British Columbia. It's bringing some of that flow into the Washington State area. We will remain mild with nice temperatures, but it's going to stay wet. Tuesday should be a little bit better. Mostly cloudy, just an isolated shower or two. I think most of that activity will stay in the northern part of the state. The big news for us, a ridge up and over us, so that means more warm temperatures, and that's going to last all the way into next Wednesday with partly cloudy skies then, mild temperatures, and dry with lots of sunshine throughout eastern Washington. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling 7-day forecast. Another mild one on tap for us tonight, overnight tonight. 36 the low, 30% chance of rain early tomorrow. That goes up to a 60% chance of rain tomorrow night. Morning rain showers for Saturday then. It will be windy in the afternoon. Keep that in mind. 43 degrees. Still a slight chance for rain showers all the way to the end of the weekend and the first part of next week with 30% chance of rain on Monday. And by the time we get into Wednesday next week, partly cloudy and mild. Temperatures still way above normal with highs then around 39 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Grantrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
This is Caitlin Hedershe, the producer of the NCWLIFE magazine. Each week, I'm bringing you a look behind the scenes of the faces, places, and events that make North Central Washington the place we call home. Tune in every weekday for an in-depth look at a new topic each week. From local artists in their studios to businesses breaking barriers that might surprise you and everything in between. Join me on the NCWLIFE magazine right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Thursday. There we are. To you. There were some entertaining college football games yesterday to ring in the new year. Let's take a look. Minnesota dominated the time of possession in beating Auburn in the Outback Bowl, 31-24. Tyler Johnson had 12 receptions for 204 yards and 2 touchdowns. Gophers also outgained the Tigers on the ground, 215-56. The Verbo, which I thought it was VRBO, but no, it's the Verbo Citrus Bowl, was a yawner. Alabama beat up on Michigan 35-16. Mac Jones threw for 3 touchdown passes, and Jared Jeudy became the first Alabama player to top 200 yards receiving in a bowl game as the Crimson Tide rolled. Justin Herbert rushed for 3 touchdowns. The last 30-yard burst was 7:41 to play in the fourth quarter to lead Oregon past Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl game presented by Northwestern Mutual. In his final collegiate game playing for the team he worshipped as a kid growing up in Eugene, Herbert used his legs more than his arm to will the Ducks to the win and a 12-2 season. George Pickens caught 12 passes for 175 yards and a touchdown. Number 5, Georgia defeated 8th-ranked Baylor in the All-State Sugar Bowl last night, 26-14. Jake Fromm, the kid who once donned a University of Washington uniform, led the Bulldogs, completing 20 of 30 for 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Now, the dwindling bowl schedule for today included Boston College and Cincinnati in the Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl. Yeah, we've all heard of that one, right? And then right now, it's the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl featuring Indiana and Tennessee on ESPN. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl is tomorrow as Ohio takes on Nevada at 12:30 on ESPN. Saturday kicks off a mix of college and pro games as Southern Mississippi faces Tulane in the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. That begins at 8:30 with a bowl of granola grenades. The NFL's Wild Card Weekend kicks off on Saturday. Buffalo Bills travel to Houston to take on the Texans Saturday. That's at 1:35 in the afternoon on ESPN, the first AFC Wild Card game. The other AFC Wild Card game is New England hosting Tennessee. Now, that doesn't kick off till 5:15, which means it's 8:15 on the East Coast. Could be interesting weather there. That one's on CBS. Sunday's NFC Wild Card games begin at 10:05 in the morning on Fox, where New Orleans hosts Minnesota. Then at 1:40 on NBC, it's Seattle at Philadelphia. Now, Seahawks coach Pete Carroll knows his club is in for a battle when they face the Eagles on Sunday.
Philadelphia's changed a little bit in some of their guys, but their style of play and their completeness, the way that they have a complete football team and teams and tough defense, and they run the football well, all of that stuff. This is a good club. That's why they won a division, and they also finished great. You know, coming off 4 straight wins to get it done is really a great accomplishment for these guys. So. They know us, we know them some, and because there's been a game, but we game plan all over again, and they do too. So we'll have to see what happens, but looking forward to this for sure. We've been waiting to be in the playoffs, and we're ready to go.
Now, Seattle traveled to Philadelphia back in Week 12, came away with a 17-9 victory. Carroll says having already won at Lincoln Financial Field and also winning 6 games on the road this season bodes well for Seattle in the playoffs.
It certainly does help, and just because we'll be comfortable with the setting and the environment and all of that. The weather will have its play on this thing as well. But it was a nasty day when we played, and probably more than anything, traveling. It's been something that we've really taken great pride in this year, and we've done it really well. And we don't have any hesitation going on the road. And so I don't know how else everybody else. We played about as well as you can on the road, and hopefully that'll be in our favor as we go after it. Because there's a chance we might have to be on the road as far as we go. So we'll see if that happens. We'll be ready.
Really good news. Seattle safety Quandary is back at practice after missing 3 games of an ankle injury. He said he modeled his recovery after other athletes with similar injuries.
Every injury is different, so you never know. But, I always said I want to I kept up with guys that had, these type of injuries, and really want to give a shout out to Saquon Barkley and, Luka Doncic, because, I watched everything and saw how they kind of bounced back, and it just kind of put a goal in my mind on what I could do. So, those guys pushed me and they don't even know it.
Pete said you'd had something similar like this before in your past? Or?
Yeah, I had the same thing in high school, so pretty similar. So I was 16 at the time, though, so, at that time, I was young. Now I'm old, so we don't know.
Yeah, he's old. He's in his late 20s. Forecast for Sunday's game in Philadelphia is for rain and gusty winds up to 25 miles an hour. Seattle linebacker Bobby Wagner says the wind doesn't matter for either side when it comes to getting the job to be done.
Honestly, the wind don't really affect my game. I just see a body and try to go hit it. As far as like the pass concepts and things of that nature, you can tell I'm not a quarterback, so I don't know how they, throwing the ball, but at the end of the day, they know how to get the balls to the guys no matter what the conditions is, whether it's raining, windy, whatever. You can't really prepare for it to be that factor. Their job is to get the ball to the open receivers, open tight ends, open running backs. The only thing that I can think of to maybe kind of help them is maybe do a little bit more screens, do a little bit more jailbreak screens to receivers, quick passes or something like that. But at the end of the day, it's win or go home. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna figure out a way to get the ball to their receivers.
Seattle and Philadelphia kick off 1:40 Sunday afternoon. You can watch the game on NBC. Tonight here on the NCWLIFE channel, it's hockey night. We'll broadcast the Wilds game against Powell River from December 21st. Art Checker with a call starting at 7 o'clock. Of course, the Wild back in action after the holiday break tomorrow night at the Town Toyota Center. Wenatchee will host Victoria at 7:05. The Wild are currently tied for 4th in the interior division of the BCHL. Victoria last place in the Island Division. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grantrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan.
Thank you very much, Grant. My guest tomorrow on Friday will be David Rayfield, who handles all kinds of the marketing duties for the Wenatchee Wild. He's no stranger to this program. He's got some pretty exciting news Wild hockey-wise. Wild will be welcoming Victoria into town tomorrow night, and I will have tickets to give away as well for you hockey fans out there, plus everything you're used to as we're falling into the new year now. Join me for Friday's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning in this very studio. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
NCWLIFE channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and other stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa.
and the arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life Channel is your local TV station.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.
I'm Carol Andre with Wenatchee Parks and Recreation, and you're watching the NCW Life Channel.